Aimee. She's known as the Egg Whisperer.
Fertility expert Dr. Aimee of
and you have yet another success story
just launched by an East Bay fertility doctor.
Welcome to the Egg Whisperer Show. I don't expect everyone to know me. My name is Dr. Aimee of Most people call me Dr. Aimee because my last name sounds like a vase of flowers a day, and who says that all the time? Or have a nice day, but I just go by Dr. Aimee or the Egg Whisperer. So I started this show because I wanted to not just spark a conversation about fertility or ignite a conversation about fertility. I wanted there to be an explosion and talk about fertility and have everyone listen. Fertility issues are really, really taboo. People whisper about them, but they're part of the human experience. I find people isolate themselves. They don't share things with their family friends. They don't talk about how they're feeling. And there's a huge lack of access to basic fertility information. And I want to end that. And so that's what this show is all about. I want us to just let it go. You're watching me tonight because you might have some questions. You don't know where to turn. Just know that you are not alone. There are other people watching today. And I want you to feel like this is a comfortable place for you to come to for us to talk about everything fertility. And we're going to have fun doing it. So here is, this cat's name is Ziggy Stardust Hernandez. I love Ziggy. Ziggy is a cat that a patient of mine just recently adopted. And she sent me an email yesterday, and I just got this thought because she was talking to me about things being taboo. And she sent me this picture and said, hey, Aimee, share the picture of cute Ziggy for me. And I just want other people to realize that they're not alone. And we want to shout basically from the top of our lungs about our experience and how people should go get help when they need help. So there have been so many fertility stories this week. And probably one of the biggest ones on Monday night was when Nancy Kerrigan, a former Olympian, shared that she not only had one miscarriage, but 6 miscarriages as she was trying for baby number 2. And she also did IVF. And I think that just shows that no matter who you are, how athletic you are, how great shape you're in, it doesn't matter. Miscarriages, having struggles to get pregnant can happen to all of us. And here's a dress that I'm going to wear next week. Seriously, this is actually a skating dress. If you look closely, there are eggs and sperm on this skating dress. And I thought to myself, I wonder if I could do something, maybe raise money for some foundation and say that I would wear this dress for a week. But then I was like, there's no way that I could wear a dress like that for a week. Okay, so another thing in fertility news this week was Kim Kardashian. So whenever Kim Kardashian speaks about anything fertility, the world listens. So that's another reason why I started the show, is that it seems like most American women are getting their fertility facts from shows and from online headlines surrounding Kim Kardashian and her fertility headlines. So the latest headline was, determined Kim Kardashian will likely use a surrogate to have another baby. Well, I think it's awesome that there are women out there like Kim that are sharing their fertility journey and struggles with other women. It's also pretty incredible that there are women out there that love being pregnant so much that they would do that for other people. So I just want to draw some parallels between me and Kim Kardashian. She's Armenian. I'm kind of Armenian. I'm Assyrian. She talks about fertility. I'm a fertility doctor. I've met Kim Kardashian. Does that make us close? No. My point is this. I want everyone who thinks that they might have a fertility problem to get help from a fertility doctor. Go to your OBGYN. Go to your local fertility specialist and get your questions answered. So another fertility headline this week was about Katie Sagal and a book that she wrote about an experience that she had not 5 years ago, not 10 years ago, but 25 years ago. She's 63, people. It's humbling to think that it took her 25 years to come out and share her struggles and write a book about it. And again, it just shows that this is such a taboo topic that people aren't talking about it. And so if people talk about it more, and there are more shows like this where people can tune in and listen, then maybe it's not going to be so taboo anymore. And so last week, if you tuned in, I should say, I talked about a conception kit that was FDA approved very recently. And so it basically involves some sort of contraption where you put the sperm into it and then you place that little contraption inside the vagina. I can't even begin to tell you how many phone calls, emails, texts I got having people say, wait, what? Can you show me that cup again? So I'm going to show you that cup again tonight. Watch very carefully. Let's pretend this is sperm. It's not sperm, people. It's actually water. Okay, so when sperm comes out, number one, you need a cup. It barely coats the bottom of this cup. Okay, then you're going to keep it warm 10-15 minutes. And after about 10-15 minutes, it turns to water. So this is my version of a conception cut that I give to my patients, because we all know that when you're trying to have a baby, you're not having what I call soap opera sex. So the next thing that you're going to do, syringe. I like all my patients, so I remind them, take the needle off. Cap off. Draw up the semen. Needle off. Place like a tampon inside the vagina. Inject the semen. Pillow under the butt, 10 minutes, and hopefully you are pregnant. Speaking of sperm and balls, this is just a funny joke. Not so funny, but kind of funny. I ordered stress balls, stress eggs from my office. They were supposed to be this color, but they came in this color, and I just thought that was kind of funny. Anyways, on to the next thing. So this show is going to be about eggs, everything eggs, not cooked eggs, not scrambled eggs, but just about eggs, because I don't feel like we understand enough about a woman's fertility and their eggs. So we all know it takes 3 things to have a baby: eggs, sperm, and fallopian tubes that are open. And there are different ways of finding out about your egg quality. So everybody should know, just like you know that you can check your cholesterol, your glucose, your blood pressure, your thyroid levels, your vitamin D, you can check your fertility hormone levels: FSH, estradiol, and AMH. So no matter what's going on with you, whether you've had number 1, you're thinking of number 2, or whether you're thinking of freezing your eggs or not sure if you even want to have kids, getting those levels checked is really easy. Talk to your doctor, go to eggwhisperer.com, go to your local fertility doc. Everyone should be able to help you. The other thing about eggs is this: our egg count declines from birth. So if our egg count's declining from birth and our most fertile window actually is in our 20s, and especially in this community in the San Francisco Bay Area, most women actually start having their family in their 30s, even their 40s. So if that's the case, and we know that 90% of a woman's eggs are gone by the time they're 30, this leaves a lot of women with not many options once their eggs have run out. So I want women to get educated so they can have choices, and those choices lead to empowerment. And then once you have said eggs, spend as much energy that you do paying attention to the eggs as you do the sperm, because you only get one chance to get it right when it comes to thawing your eggs. And I hear this all the time. I have women that come to me, especially in California, and they spend so much time at the gym, eating well, watching exactly what they eat, organic cosmetics, and they're so gorgeous and they look so fertile on the outside, right? But there's actually no such thing. Fertility is not skin deep. It does not matter how good you look on the outside. There's no such thing as putting Botox in your ovary. That's going to be a bumper sticker that I have on my car, folks. I promise you. So when you see me driving down the road in my Nissan Altima with that bumper sticker, you know it's me. That's a good one. Okay. And then the other thing is that once a woman has run out of viable eggs, it happens to all of us. There is an awesome option called egg donation. You have to be ready for it. If you're not ready for it, it's not for you. But if it's something that you need to consider, realize that option is not going away. There is a lot of confusion around this option. This is a different path to pregnancy because a lot of people feel like, well, if my eggs have run out, then I need to find an egg donor right away before I'm in complete menopause. But you don't even have to have ovaries in order to do egg donation. You just need to have a nice, strong, healthy uterus and mom. So along those lines of having a healthy uterus and mom, so many of my patients delay gratification. They're not taking the best care of themselves. They, let's say things like, well, I'm going to wait and exercise until after I'm pregnant. I'm going to wait and take really good care of myself after I have a baby. And so what I tell patients, men and women, that health is the one thing that you can't get back. Protect it, take care of it, because you don't get a second chance at life. So live in today's moment, take care of today, and then tomorrow will take care of itself. So along the lines of talking about eggs, and more eggs, every woman should get their levels checked at the age of 25 because fertility does not decline at 35. It declines a lot sooner for some people, and you don't want to be one of those people that looks back and says, why didn't I get my levels checked earlier? So I want everyone to get ahead of infertility and get their questions answered sooner than later. So let's see if we have any callers, and we do.
We do have a caller. Let's bring you online. Hello. Welcome to the Egg Whisperer Show.
Hi, caller. You're on with Dr. Aimee.
Hello, caller.
Maybe caller is shy. Hello, can you hear us?
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
How are you? Dr. Aimee?
Yes, hi. What's your name?
I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Where are you calling from, Sarah?
She's from San Diego.
Beautiful
San Diego, Sarah.
San Diego.
Oh, that's so egg. Get it? Egg sighting. Thank you, Sarah, for calling tonight.
Exciting.
Wait, tell me a little bit about yourself, Sarah.
Yeah, sure. So I'm almost 38. I'm like 6 months away from my birthday.
Okay.
I just got divorced
Okay.
8 months ago.
Okay.
So dealing with that,
Mhm.
but at least we didn't have any kids together, so it was pretty clean divorce.
Okay.
But now I'm scared on how I will have a family.
Got it.
So I've been researching egg freezing and wanted to know your thoughts.
Okay, so first question I had is, in the relationship that you were in, did you try to actively conceive?
Well, that's kind of where the start of our relationship falling apart began. He lied to me and had a vasectomy.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, there isn't anything that I haven't heard or seen before, but that definitely is something that
That's pretty
I've
crappy,
heard about.
right? I mean,
it can cause the breakdown of a relationship, and sometimes that's not something that you can get back after that.
I mean, it's not a simple process to get a vasectomy. So he clearly did not want to have children.
Right. Well, at least you weren't, it sounds like at least you weren't, for example, actively trying until you found out. So have you had your fertility levels checked?
I booked an appointment with a doctor actually for next week.
Okay, perfect. So the thing about being 38 and getting your levels checked, I think a lot of women feel because they're over this age of 35 that for some reason their eggs will not be healthy. And what I tell people is that egg freezing is for anyone in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, and you don't know if it's for you until you get your levels checked. So how old was your mom when she stopped having her periods? Do you know the answer to that question?
Oh, man, when she stopped having her last period?
Yeah, when she went into menopause?
I don't actually know that.
Okay. Well, that's not necessarily something we always, talk about around the dinner table, but it's not a bad question to ask her. And do you have any sisters by any chance?
I do have one sister. Yep.
Okay. And then how old is
Younger.
she?
She's 2 years younger, so
Okay.
35.
Has she tried to have kids yet?
She is not married either.
Okay. No, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be married either to have kids, but yes. So
Well, true.
that is true. So So basically, after you get your levels checked, you're more than welcome to call back in and we'll talk more about your levels. You have great doctors there in San Diego, so that if you wanted to do egg freezing, you're in great position to do that. And the one thing that I ask egg freezing patients to do is talk to their doctor about how many children they want, because egg freezing is just a chance for pregnancy. One egg does not equal one baby. An egg is a chance. And so you don't know what that chance is until you learn more about your fertility. And the chances change based on your age. So for example, an egg, let's say at 38, is going to have, if I were to just give you an estimate, it would have maybe a 19% chance, around 20% chance of pregnancy. And then an egg, let's say...
Each egg?
Each egg. So if, let's say, you want 2 children, you may want to consider reaching a certain number of eggs so that you are giving yourself the highest chance. Because once you run out of genetically normal eggs, science hasn't evolved. We don't have any new technologies quite yet. I mean, there are companies like, for example, Ovascience and other companies that I hope are going to come out with something where women who have run out of viable eggs will start to be able to create new eggs. So Sarah, have you done any internet research at all about egg freezing? Do you know where to go? Because I have a great resource for people.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend that went to San Diego Fertility Center, so my appointment is there. But more so, I've been researching sperm donors, and that is a whole bucket of worms that I'm trying to understand, and not sure where to pick. I just see a bunch of lawsuits against like certain companies.
Yeah, I mean, my best recommendation is to find a donor if you're going to do this as a single mom by choice that looks very similar to you. And the way to find out if a donor is a good genetic match, that you're genetically compatible, is to do a family prep screen. So that's a screen for, let's say, over 200 diseases or so, to make sure that you're not a carrier of any diseases that the sperm donor is a carrier for. I think that's the best thing that you can do to protect yourself. So thank you, Sarah, for calling in tonight. I wish you all the best. It sounds like you have a great head on your shoulders, and 38 is super young, and I think that things sound like they're going to work out great for you.
Well, if Lamal Clooney can get twins at almost 40, I figure I have a shot, at least one.
Yes, we all have a shot. That's true. Okay. Thanks for calling, Sarah. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
We do have a question.
Yes.
From Facebook.
Okay.
Someone is asking, I have read that many IVF fails are due to autoimmune system not working properly. So the body attacks the embryo. Is there any test before starting IVF to test your autoimmune system?
Yeah, there actually is. So autoimmune disorders could mean a number of things. There are a lot of inflammatory conditions that can affect fertility, especially your eggs. I mean, one in particular is called endometriosis. I mean, we've heard a lot of that in the news lately. So 2 big stars with endometriosis, and I actually was going to add that to today's slide deck. So that's a really good question. So Julianne Hough, she recently came out and said that she's from Dancing with the Stars. You can tell that I'm a reality show junkie. So she came out and talked about her struggle with endometriosis. And then another star was Leah Dunham from The Girls, right? So she came out and talked about, she's been in the hospital and she was taking selfies and talking about endometriosis. So there are blood tests that you can do to see if you're at risk for endometriosis. Talking to a gynecologist or fertility doctor will also help. Getting ultrasounds done. And there are panels, genetic tests, like fertility gene tests that you can do to see if you have any genes related to autoimmunity.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I think that a lot of people actually have, when you have a problem getting pregnant, and it totally makes sense. It totally makes logical sense to think that somehow your body is hostile and attacking a pregnancy. But I would say that is probably less of a reality than, let's say, having an egg that's not genetically viable. So, if you were to say, of all the reasons why someone's not getting pregnant, autoimmunity is probably lower on the list, but it's still high enough that if you have a sense that that's something that you're dealing with, that you should get evaluated and seen for.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lots of chatter on Facebook as well.
Yes, nice. Thank you,
People
Paula.
say thank you for helping to conceive and carry my 2 sweet babies to term.
That's very, very sweet. That's very sweet. Thanks, Paula. So if we don't have any more questions tonight, I think we're going to close out tonight's show. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for being here. I'll be here next Wednesday, 6 p.m. And I'm going to probably have even funnier jokes. I'm going to have all week to prepare for them. I'm probably going to have better props than this and this, but nothing too obscene. So children can still watch. Don't watch if you're a child, though. Thanks again for being here tonight. And I look forward to talking to you guys next Wednesday.